Use some artichoke French today and some chicken French. We're starting off with some olive oil in the pan. We're going to pour a good amount in there so it coats the pan really well. We're going to get the oil nice and hot. Okay, so now we're going to take the artichokes. Doesn't matter whether you have them quarter or whole. We're going to dust them really nice with flour. And then we're going to shake them off and we're going to throw them in the beaten eggs. We're going to batter these all up with the eggs. And then you're going to pick them up and you're going to drop them in the oil. You have to work quickly when you're doing this. Try not to do too many at a time, because then the cooking process gets ahead of you, and the cooking time will vary between what you're cooking from when you started from when you finished. So make sure you coat them up really well in the egg mixture. Now our artichokes are starting to brown nice and lightly. So here we have our artichokes that cooked in the oil and the flour and the egg batter. And we're going to make the French sauce now. So now we're going to do some chicken French. We're going to take some chickens that we filleted, get some thinner pieces. You can slice them across the breast, make them thinner. You can pound them if you want to, make them a little thinner. Now I just flour them really well. I shake the flour off. I make sure I dip it really good in the egg mixture. And then we're going to lay these in the hot oil in the pan. Make sure your chicken's coated good with that egg mixture. You let it run off for a couple seconds, and then you're going to drop those in the pan. Okay, so now we have our chicken here, sauteing up with a little bit of olive oil. We dipped it in the flour and the egg mixture. You can see they're getting a really nice light golden color to them. We're going to do the other side for just a minute, and then we're going to put them in a pan for right now. Okay, so here we have some melted butter. We're going to use this for our artichoke French and our chicken French. If you're going to cook the chicken French in there, you want to make sure that you're cooking the chicken in the broth and the sherry till the chicken is fully cooked, which will take a few minutes. Here we're going to do the artichokes in this one. So we're going to add our artichokes now into that butter. We're going to have this on high. Now this is kind of a dangerous part where you're adding the sherry to it. You want to be careful not to add too much, because you have your hood system above you. You have wires up in here with your lights. So you got to be careful if you're going to flame it off. You don't want to pour too much sherry into the mix. But you want to make sure your butter is boiling really, really well. You got it on high. You want it really going really good. Okay, so now we got our artichokes frying up really nice and high. We're going to add about 2 shots of sherry to it. We're going to let that come to a boil. And then we're going to light it. We're just going to let that alcohol burn off. Once the alcohol has stopped flaming, you want to then add a couple of lemons squeezed over your artichokes. You're going to turn that off, and your artichoke French is ready. So now we're going to add just a ladle full of some very light chicken broth. You can use chicken broth out of a box or a can, that's okay. But you want to add a little chicken flavor to that. just let it simmer down for another minute, and your artichoke French is done. We have the butter, we have the sherry, and we have the lemon juice, and a little bit of chicken broth added to it. You can cook this down until the sauce gets semi-thick a little bit. It's up to you, or you can just leave it as a liquid like this. I like to cook it down a little bit and get a nice little, kind of little thicker sauce to it. That makes for a nice sauce. That's about right there. Don't forget to subscribe.